Okay, let's start. So hello all, welcome back to our Power Talk series from Division A, which has been a continuous program which is happening every Saturday at 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So Division A from District 121. My name is Pradeep Shetty and I'm the Division A Director. I'm the member of Nagarbavi Toastmasters Club and I'm into Toastmasters for the past 4 years. So this April, I'll be completing 4 years in my journey. So next, I would like to pass on to Rachna.
Yes. Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Rachna from Mysore Toastmasters, currently serving as PR of Division A and Head, and also I'm one of the leaper. So today, we are part of the session 4 of Power Talk series initiative by Division A. And we have one of the guests, that is Thangam. Could you please introduce yourself, Thangam?
Hey, hello everyone. I'm
Hi.
Tangam. I'm from Toastmasters of Shrinfi and I'm into Toastmasters about 1 year.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining. So we have someone special today. That is TTM Rajeev from Division E, TCS Mentee Kochi Toastmaster Club. And we know that the theme is speaking with authentic emotion. We all know that people listen, but they don't remember the words that we said. People receive gifts, but they don't remember the gifts we received. But they always remember how we made them feel, right? So today, the topic that we are focusing on is on emotions. Here, every speaker craves to have this kind of the secrets of exhibiting the emotions. Whether it's a contestant or a normal speaker who wants to be a motivational speaker or a public speaker, they all want to know the secrets of showing their emotions in their speech. So before I introduce or hand over the stage to our DTM Rajiv, let's have a small fun session. I would, I'll say two truths and one lie about Rajiv, and we have to identify which is the lie. So yeah, we have guests joining in. Hi Sunil Kumar and hi Anuja. So I'll tell you the first sentence. The statement is Rajiv is a professional table tennis player. Second statement, Rajiv is a professional corporate trainer. Third, Rajiv is a professional EMC, that is professional host. Yes, I want you to identify which is the lie. Any guess? You can start guessing.
Tennis player, maybe?
Tennis player? Okay. Any other answers from Sunil and Anuja? Anju, we have Anju joining in. Yeah. You want to give it a try, Sunil and Anuja? Okay. Yes, that is a lie. Yes. So coming to the fun part is done. Now let me introduce Rajiv. So it's my privilege to introduce him because I know him very well. And he is a distinguished Toastmaster, a passionate public speaker, certified mentor, and trainer who strongly believes that communication is most powerful when it is authentic. A professional with Tata Consultancy Services, he beautifully blends corporate excellence with Toastmasters mastery. Over the years, Rajiv has mentored and trained numerous individuals to strengthen their communication skills, and leadership presence. His sessions are practical, reflective, and deeply engaging, helping speakers move beyond technique into genuine connection. If you want to move from simply delivering speeches to truly touching hearts, you are in the right place. So let's give a big round of applause by sending our favorite emojis and I'm handing over the virtual stage to our distinguished Toastmaster Rajeev Srinivas.
Thank you so much, Rachna. You have already made me emotional. Now I am really looking forward whether should I continue with the session or not. So I think already we have a keynote speaker, Rachna, helping us understand how we can make other people emotional with words. Thank you, Rachna, for setting the bar so high. And as a prerequisite, I would love everyone to be on camera in your favorite sport so that because this is a session as already reiterated by Rachna, which needs interaction. Otherwise, it's going to be just radio talk, which I don't like to have. So, with that being said, as the screen is already visible, let me move on to our topic for the day, which is art of emotional expressions. Because I'm not looking just into the speech aspect as an overall how we can express emotionally. Because I believe speeches is not about how to impress, how to express. And that expression of freedom elevates us as great speakers. So, are you ready for the roller coaster ride?
Yes.
Yes. So, let's figure out. And these are my usual disclaimers for any session that I take. It's basically because, yeah, if you find it interesting, it's quite accidental. I'm not claiming anything on my own. So, that's the first part. And second, that is just, I again, like, yeah, it is created on Tuesday. So, you need to, well, just ignore that. But the warning is stand still because listening and knowledge consumption is very injurious to your sleep because especially it's evening time and you will be having snacks and you will be getting to that sleepy mode if you are just going to listen. So I would need definitely participation from your end and very grateful it would be on camera as you can see beautiful faces Pradeep, Tangam and Rachna. So you could join the gang and we can have a gang war today. With that, one more warning, especially because this is like as I'm just mentioning, like these are the symptoms if you are just going to sit ahead and just be there. So that's not what we want. If you would like to express and ensure we are learning together, let's make sure we are on camera and we can your comfortable pace. Don't worry about like whether you have makeup or not. We are not going to count on those things. We are just going to be here. Just stay focused on our learnings. With that, as it's Saturday, I have got like some satires to add on. So can you just guess what it is? Name two emotions that are similar in nature, and you can add why. Explain why. You can take a wild guess. Obviously, it's related to the topic, but in a weird way, I would say. Go ahead and give a guess. So let me go around and ask. I see Pradeep already having something in mind. So
Yeah,
starting with Pradeep.
it's a day to just wind up everything.
Mhm.
Just just lie down in the bed.
Okay, those are the two things. So happiness and content are the two things that you find two motions that are similar. Okay. Okay, great. After a tiring day, I understand. Rachna, what's your thoughts?
So these are the commonly experienced emotions.
Commonly experienced emotions. Okay, good, good, good. Thank you. Okay, Tangam, anything would you like to add?
Relaxation and
Mhm.
preparing speech for Toastmasters.
Relaxation and preparing speech for Toastmasters. I can't find any other metaphor or simile beyond this for now, Rangam. Thank you so much. Anju and Sunil, would you like to add? Now, honestly, I can say that the answer is gone blow your mind because that's not what you expect, but it's connected with what we are going to do today. One of the aspect. So let me decipher the answer right away for you, which is emotions and loose motions. These two motions are really identical, and why? Because both are difficult to control. Once you are really sad, is it easy for us to control? The same way, the other aspect is also very hard for us to control. That's why they are similar, but just being on a satirical aspect, that's why we are here to learn the art of not controlling, but make sure we conquer and express it freely. With that mode is set, let me, because I would always look forward with this quote, which I always love, is about Simon Sinek. If we know the why, how is easy. So I would love you to tell me why authentic emotion expressions matters. So you can tell your own things. Why do we need to express our emotions authentic?
It
What does it
helps
make
to
when we do in speeches? Yes.
it
Go ahead.
helps to connect With the audience, it is easier for them to see our true nature. We can be much expressive and they understand that.
Okay, strengthening our personal presence. Thank you so much, Sangam. That's a great aspect. Any other points?
It's conveying whatever we are feeling. The
Mhm.
other person should get to know that kind of emotion that we are experiencing.
Emotional resonance that we have.
Yes.
Thank you. Wonderful points. So, personal presence, you are maintaining and strengthening your personal presence and emotional resonance. Anything else
I think
that you can think of?
being true to yourself rather than hiding or something, because if we tend to hide, there's a possibility it might reveal sometime that this person is not genuine or authentic. So if you're true, whatever it is there, you just say, and you vent it off or something like that. Yeah.
Wow, building the trust and credibility. Wonderful aspect. Thank you so much. All of you had made these why is so clear to you. I'm really glad. I would like to add just one more point to the why, which is nothing but it makes that speech memorable. That simple aspect of emotion. Maybe we not remember all those words or those gans that we said in the meeting, but that speech, that expression of I see something in you, that flower is what is resonating in our mind, right? So you, that expression of happiness, expression of laughter, joy, or all those expressions is what makes that speech memorable. So these are the why, and that's as that is already clear. I would love to pivot to one major aspect of, because we all love to be on stage and we are here to make sure we are persuasive speakers. So there are four major aspects for any persuasive speaker that written in rhetoric by Aristotle. He says these are the four aspects that we need for any speech to be persuasive. And as persuasive speakers, the four aspects are ethos, pathos, logos, and kairos. And you might have heard about ethos, pathos, logos. Kairos may be a surprise for you, but let me decipher. Ethos is nothing but, as you just mentioned, about the credibility aspects. Logos is logical, and we funnily, jokingly say that Men in Mars and Women from Venus is a book where it says like, yeah, women are always pathos, which means they love to be emotional. But in the same sense, men are always or pretendably more logical, which is logos. That's why when you are say you are good, men go behind the logic. Okay, good means good, but there are subtle variations with the good. Why did you ask? Was it good enough or was it very good? And there are certain variations. Rachana is expressing in such a way that, yeah, you have understood my mood. It is not good if you extend this statement. But jokes apart, that is the reason why we go ahead with miscommunications. So the real art of persuasion is nothing but understand the ethos, pathos, logos, and last but not least, if you have everything in place, these three are in place. But if you are attempting it in wrong time, everything is in vain. That is what the Kairos is about. Attempting at the right time. You are expressing a 5 minute later. The three, like, yeah, like we say BSNL. The other networks are going with 5G and 6G, and BSNL is launching. Yes, we are attempting 3G for you, and that's not a right timing to build a market. So same way, let's make sure we are attempting all those aspects with the right time. But how can we do that is the obvious question that always comes around us, right? And let me challenge you one thing, because I said like, yeah, these are the major aspects for persuasive speaker, right? So the challenge for all of you is, I would say there is one speech in which you don't need to have pathos in it, which is the emotion aspects at all in it, but you can still nail that speech. You can be that persuasive speaker where all the audience will go together with you. So the challenge for you is, tell me which speech it is.
Humorous.
How is it possible? We are here for emotions, and but I'm telling like, yeah, there is a contradiction. So the challenge for you, Rachana, you said something. Sorry, please.
Uh, Humorous speech.
Okay, how?
It's the opposite emotion.
Opposite emotion. So you cry and people laugh.
No. We don't involve like too much of emotions. It's the laughter that we are
It's a
focusing
laughter.
on.
So like, you don't need to emote. That's what you say for humorous speech.
Not sure.
Confused now.
Yeah.
That's fine. Absolutely fine. But okay. So Tangam, on confusion mode going on.
I don't see a speech where emotion is not there.
I don't know a speech about a speech where emotion is not needed. How can you say that? You are really fooling me, right? This is not April, and are you telling me an April Fool joke? Is what Tangam is asking. Okay, any other thoughts? Anyone? Pradeep, Anuja, Anju, Sunil?
It totally depends upon the speaker, I think, who delivers it, whatever
Mhm.
you want to deliver. Maybe a person, even though the content might be a little bit emotional, the person might deliver it in a very serious note or something like that, where
But
without.
that may not be persuasive, right? In that case.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
I'm telling that that speaker is making a persuasive attempt even without that emotion. There is that speech.
Okay,
100% tell you that.
yes.
It's contradicting to what my session is, but just giving you that thought.
Got it. It's a challenge.
But okay, so let me spill the beans for you. And rightly mentioned by Rachana, but with a tweak in it, it is for humorous speech, but not always. Because humor is the speech where you can have the maximum expression along with your end, which intends tend to have humor. Because I am expressing in a joker way, people also tend to believe that, yeah, that's a humorous person. How was this expression? That's an adding humor. But there is one genre in humorous speech where you have deadpan humor, where you are literally emoting nothing, but your content is so strong. That is the only place where your content is so strong and you didn't emote anything. You will be telling about a person at deathbed, but you will be sharing that content with full humor where people will laugh. And you will be telling like a plain sentence. Yeah, that happened at the deathbed. And you will be seeing all the people will be laughing except the person is speaking. But that's the only speech where I can 100% guarantee you, which is a genre of deadpan humor. And I would love you to see, like, yeah, whether you are a person who can attempt it, because it is not a plate for everyone. We need to practice and we need to know how a speaker we are so that we can practice. So I hope that's cool enough. Okay, so challenge accepted, and thank you so much that you all were involved and you got the nitwit of emotional expressions, even not needed. Before getting into how we can emote and everything, I would love to get you through this aspect, which is called feelings wheel. Have you ever seen this feelings wheel? How many feelings can we have? Any guess that you can say? I'll just put in the chat. I just it's not opening via the slide deck, so you can just anytime you can just go through this feeling wheel, which will give you the like I've just posted in the chat. If yeah, so just so that yeah you all can see, because I tried to open the hyperlink, which unfortunately is not taking me. Is it visible? I'm not sure. No, the PPT is only visible, right? So you may not be able to see the feeling wheel that I have opened. But yeah, you can use that hyperlink, which I just shared, which will take you through that feeling wheel, which simply gives you happiness is not just one kind. We have got plethora of different things within happiness. The optimistic happiness, proud happiness, the content happiness, playful happiness, and so on. So each and everything has got its own subtle variation. So imagine when we are going for a speech and we believe that, okay, I am just having an anger tone. Is it just angry? No. If we drill it down, at times we may not be express it as aggressive angerness, or it could be the frustrated angerness. So that is how we differ ourselves, understanding the real feeling, the champion speaker and the mere speaker. So this feeling wheel will help you underline. So whenever you write a statement, the champion speakers, what they do is go through that emotion. What is the expression that they need to? They don't say as happy. They see it as proud happiness. This is my winning thing. So I'm going to express as a proud moment. And this is not just my anger. This is where I am having aggressive anger, or I'm really literally mad at this point. That details will help you elevate your firm. So I hope this is not just for speeches alone, but I would allow you to consider this as journaling for yourselves. After every day, just take 5 minutes of your time and journal yourself. What were those moods that you went through today? And stress me, you will be better if you continue this for minimum of 21 days, because you can see the progression of how the emotions you are handling and how you are tackling with this. And I have done it, and I have found that there is a steep in my happiness level, and after that there is a steep in my sadness level when I go in a continuous manner. But that helped me to balance. It's not about just going in one way and you lost all the energy, but keep that momentum. So it's not just for speeches, but all for the both. I hope so far so good. Any questions before we get into other aspects?
I think this is the first time I'm going through this feelings wheel, and thank you so much for it, Rajiv. I've been into the training field, but still I've never been able to come across this, even though I train only students. It's beautiful. I think even for happiness, you have that detail, and again, whether it is success or what it is, right? It's amazing. I think it's going to help us a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely a game changer. Why? Because most of the times when we mentor also for speeches, we just go say and say like, yeah, this is the emotion of happiness. Yeah, just go ahead and express as happiness. But we don't go into detail, because what is that intent behind that happiness?
Yes.
Because it could be a winning moment. It could be just a happiness because I heard a laughter. And it could be real joy of giving back to society. So that inner feeling does matter.
Yes.
Even that eye contact will help you be the difference. That's why this is really important, and not just for speeches. I would say this is really important to understand ourselves, because most of the time we struggle to handle our emotions, and this wheel really help us drill down. Where am I? Am I just happy at the surface level, or I am really happy in other words?
And I
Same
think
way with everything to change.
many ups and downs also happens even in relationship. I feel that I'm not happy today, or something like that.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
sad, but sad for what? You can go
Yes.
to the depth of it and find out what it is by yourself, I think. Just like
Exactly the same.
Thank you,
So
Raj.
it's a common saying when India, like yeah, in foreign countries, when we ask how are you, it's commonly said that they will say, yeah, I'm good, fine. How do you do? But in India, when we ask this question, how are you, we say, oh, what good? It's okay, going on. So we are literally confused on how we are feeling, and that's happens, and that's why this feeling wheel, I believe, it's truly important for us to really understand what we are going through before we try to express to others. Because unless we understand our feelings, it's really worthless expressing or mimicking something else. So with that, thank you so much so far for being actively engaging. So now I would love to take it to the next level, because you have got many things to do. So you don't need to answer me. You can feel free to answer, but you can feel free to answer in the chat if possible, or else you can just answer it for yourself. There are a few questions coming all the way in the screen. The first question is, as already, when people give you feedback, do you feel like criticism? So it's a typical thing for Toastmasters. Before joining Toastmasters, it would have been the case, but I hope now you have been receiving it a lot, so you may not. But honestly, you can go ahead with your answers, yes or no. What will others think if I cry or express my happiness? Is that something boggling you in your mind? So go ahead and answer yourself. I wish I was good at the public speaking as Rachana is. I was good as I were a great leader as Pradeep is. But it's not fair. I am not getting that chance. Have you felt something like that? So just add on to yourself. You don't need to do anything else. It's your answer. It's embarrassing when I make a mistake. I was literally crying, and they felt it's like, I was just not expressing myself. It's really embarrassing that my laughter never landed. So, have you felt this? And have you felt, no, international speech contest? No, I can't do that. This role, oh, no, it's so tedious. I am not at all able to top it. Have you felt like, is there any answer where you said, yes, I am that person? With that, I have few tips for you, but not for now. But just wanted to give you that this all happens when we have a fixated mindset, where we think that, okay, this is my roadblock. So I would love everyone to shift to that growth mindset. Once it's happened, let bygones be bygones. And let's move on, and let's capture the moments, the experiences, and build on to the next. So that's a just tip for now, but we'll come back to this later, because this exercise is truly going to help us understand and evolve better. And now I would love to take a moment for all of you to, okay, where is my screen? Some challenges. Okay, yeah, go ahead. So building a powerful stage presence, expressing emotions is what we all love to have, right? And you might have seen there are some speakers who, even not uttering any word, you see them coming all over the stage, just standing there. You feel this thing, the charisma. True? Yes? Okay. I see that everyone agrees with. So I like to know from you that how can we build that? Any thoughts that you feel?
The confidence.
Okay, confidence. Go on. Anything that you can say, you can add on.
Self-belief that we can do it at any cost.
Okay, I'm really pepped up that I can do it and very on. Okay,
I'm the best.
Eye contact.
sorry.
Eye contact.
Eye contact.
Eye contact. Okay.
Feeling that I am the best.
I'm the best. Thank you so much. Yeah, all these are really relevant because before even uttering any word, before even you are just going to express fully, you are making that image in everyone's mind that yes, he is a charismatic person. She is that fabulous speaker. She's gonna rock. Many of we had said like maybe they may not have won the contest, may not have they never reached the podium, but somewhere we believe that oh my god, that was a perfect person. I really want to walk like him to the stage at least. That's my wish, right? We might have felt all these moments at points. And how to build that charisma? It's simple aspect. This is what Newton has taught us right from the beginning and we have learned it in school, but we never know that this is really what builds charisma, right? What is this first law of motion states? Anybody remember? I'm taking you back to the physics class.
It's about even.
I'm able to recall the third law.
Third?
Yeah, for every action, there is an equal.
Yeah.
Yes. So now it's the time for first law. Let's start with 1, 2, 3, right?
About inertia.
Yes, exactly. Wonderful. So big round of
Resistance.
applause for Pradeep. Yes, it's mentioning like every body continues in its state of rest or uniform motion in a straight line unless compelled to change that state by external forces, which means the law of inertia. Like if we are at rest, we are going to do the rest. If we are at motion, we will be continuing with the motion. That is what law of inertia states. And why I mentioned this is many times we just go onto the stage just at that moment without any plan. We are just called and we are just going to that stage. Have you seen any athlete going directly to sprint? Have you seen any artist directly going to the stage and performing? Have you seen any singer, dancer, or any creative person in that phase going directly and doing things? And how dare we as speakers do this foolishness? See, that is one important aspect I would allow you to consider. This first law of motion is applicable to each and every one of us because speaking is also an art. And we as artists are bound to make sure we have that prep initially done before we move to the stage. And that really builds the charisma. It's nothing else. We are prepped up. If we are content with, yeah, I'm good, I'm really okay. And if you are just making your breath and everything else, the energy will flow. Otherwise, what will happen? You are just busted up all these things. You are already preparing everything in mind. Your mind is full. And immediately, when the contest master call you for the voice check, this loud exhale comes up, right? You will first hear the exhale from the speaker and you will feel that rigidness in your hands or wherever place. Each speaker will have their own feelings. Some will have the churning of the stomach, some will have pain in their head, and each will have our own things, butterflies in the stomachs and many things like that. But that is because we are not taking our pre-meditation before going to the stage. So now let me ask you these few questions to understand yourself. So you can rate yourself. No need to mention to me. First question, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much are you comfortable on stage? Okay. So you can just number it yourself. How much are you comfortable on stage? Now the second question to you is, on a scale of 1 to 5, how much vulnerability do you have to share your stories? Are you vulnerable enough to share your stories, or do you think no? So do rate it 1 to 5. Okay, just think it's for yourself. And saying you are going to rate yourself on 1 to 5, how much you rate for your ability to express emotions? I'm really great, or I'm okay. Okay, so that way. Now the next question is, how much do you have control over your emotions? Expression is one thing. The second is, how much do you have control over emotions? Why I'm reiterating is like, for example, when you are going emotional, are you losing your words? You are going too deep that you are not having your control to get back from that emotion and go ahead with your speech. So that is the control. So one is the expression of emotion. The second is control over emotions. So if you are laughing, you together are laughing out with the audience. And you lose your control. It happens many times. You enjoy your own comedy and you laugh loud, and others will think, is he weird? That could also happen. So, how much you have control over your emotions? Last but not least, rate yourself. How much are you acceptable to the feedback? Because each and every aspect, your evaluator, your mentor, and everybody will come and share your feedback and how much you are acceptable to these feedbacks. So you might have got a rating of yourself going through all these points. And I'm not going to give you like, yeah, this rating is good or this rating is bad. It's up to you. Because the major point which I want to pivot from now on is, if you have this rating, now is a chance to move on from that rating to growth. And now is the moment where you can start shifting, understanding this is where I'm lacking and this is where I am having control. So that is this where you have to keep yourself. This is your starting point, and let's kickstart from here. And now we went on just mentioning about like, yeah, how we can be prepped up and build that charisma, which is already given to us by Dale Carnegie in his wonderful book, How to Be on Stage and Build That Charisma Before Even Speaking. As you all rightly mentioned, the first thing, what I would suggest, like, yeah, my simple aspects whenever I go before the stage is I just go ahead and go for a brisk walk, if possible, outside the stage. And I don't drink entire water, but I sip the water. And when I sip the water, I believe that that's even scientifically proven, but to me, it's really helpful. I sip the water and say something positive to me. And that positivity, I believe, it flows throughout my body with that water and calms me down. And just believe, you can just say any positive words, anything, all is well, or anything like that. But make sure you exhale, inhale, and make yourself calm rather than build those things within you and go onto the stage and burst it out. Because I believe energy is everything. And unless you are having this prep before you go into stage, you are going to burst out, and that will be. So as you all mentioned, like, yeah, that builds your charisma, because while you enter your stage, you are not going to directly going to enter the stage and build eye contact, right? You are going to enter the stage, looking into the stage itself, respecting that stage, because that is the eye contact that you have to build first, not with the audience. You are going to build the eye contact, because unless, like, yeah, when you enter the stage and you falter looking into the audience, that is the best, worst thing that had happened. So the best thing is building the eye contact directly the stage first, then to the contest master, then standing there right front and just looking around. Then you can just do this magical thing. A simple smile. A simple smile will help everyone believe that you are that simple, confident speaker. Maybe in your head, there'll be many other trillion things going, but this expression of yours build that confidence, not just in yourself, but in others as well. So make sure and don't try it out just directly on stage. You need to try it out right now. You need to try it out every day. How you are going to manifest being on stage. They have asked every world champion, they have manifested trillion times in their mind how they are going to win, how they are going to collect their trophy, how they are going to cherish that memory, how they are going to deliver the award winning speech afterwards. Not the speech after winning the trophy. So that is the manifestation. So let's all make sure we come with those manifestations. I would allow you to express fully, because unless you are expressing yourself and making yourself understand these emotions and your ratings, you are not going to explore much, because that's going to be your energy burst. That's not should happen. We should have energy reserved, and we should kick right, soothing to others. That will help that. Any questions? Because this is just the trailer. Picture abhi baki hai. Yes, Praveen.
There's an example of this Muhammad Ali, the greatest boxer of all times.
Yes.
So before he used to go into the boxing ring, he used to jump like this, and he used to say, "I'm the greatest of all time. I'm the greatest of all times." So
Yes.
he said in one of his interview that one is the body action. Second thing is saying some affirmation, something good, positive that makes you good. Yeah, just wanted.
Exactly. Yes, all the great people, if you have asked them, they have one ritual. It could be like, yeah, one simple ritual that they follow. That's why I shared, like, yeah, I have this simple ritual of just having a sip of water, which is my ritual, which keeps me calm. You could have just exhale, inhale. I have seen some speakers who just go forward, like, yeah, they just enact them, just weird face expression and see, like, yeah, all their jaws and everything intact. It's up to them. And some I have seen, like, yeah, they just take the stretch yoga kind of thing, and they believe, like, yeah, but it's up to them, right? Yeah, just making sure the body is all flexible and enough. So it's up to us ensure that our body is intact and we have the right thing before we go into stage. But that is the ritual. Any simple ritual which helps you, gets you to the stage, make sure you build the charisma right away. Okay, so I see, Tangam, you are keeping the questions on end. I hope there are trailers of questions coming up, but let's keep it for end. Let's go ahead. So now, obviously, when I give you something, I always demand something from you. So are you all ready for the challenge? Okay, so who is the first one who is going to attend the challenge? Raise of hands, please. Then it's silence. Okay, Tangam. Okay, Tangam. So please unmute. You have the challenge before you. So I will just put a sentence in the chat. So you have to read it fast 3 times. 3 times would be enough. Okay, as fast as possible. The sentence is on the chat right away.
Sick, hicks, nick, slick bricks with picks and sticks.
3 times. Fast.
Okay. Sick, hicks, nick, slick bricks with picks and sticks. Sick, hicks, nick, slick bricks with picks and sticks.
And that was a sixer from Tangam. Thank you so much, Tangam, for attempting it bravely. So I think, yeah, Rachana's expression is like, what is that I'm hearing? I hear six, hick, and all things together. But thank you so much, Tangam. That was a brave attempt. Okay, so now as Tangam has got the challenge, how can we just leave out Rachana and Pradeep, who are really active now? So Rachana, your word is now on the chat.
Okay. Fresh French fried fly fritters. Fresh French fried fly fritters. Fresh French fried fly fritters.
Oh, having heard this French fry this much harder before, right?
No.
Thank you so much, Rasta. Wonderful attempt. Okay, Pradeep, over to you. Now you are going to do some magic.
Fred fed Ted bread and Ted fed Fred bread. Fred fed Ted bread and Ted fed Fred bread. Fred fed Ted bread and Ted fed Fred bread. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Wow. How do you feel now?
Great.
Great. All the charisma back to me. Okay. The simple exercise, why I want to bring you here, because it's about emotions and expressions. Because the best emotion way or the best way of expression is bringing with clarity. And how can we bring clarity in your speech is by doing these tongue twisters. Just practice one tongue twister once in a week. Just have it as a fun segment at your office or at your home with your kids or parents. Just try this attempt. But once you get this, if these hard things you can decipher, the simple content in your speech is very simple. But this will help you bring that clarity. Otherwise, what will happen is like, yeah, we believe while we are telling the speech, I was so clear, I was so loud. But the audience will say, where? So let's make sure that question never arises. So to bring in clarity is matter of exercise. And that is what, before even expressions or anything, when you say, it should be with full clarity. Because that's why the words have powers. So if you want to make sure each and every word is synced in the audience, they shouldn't even skip one word when you're expressing some emotion. They should hear even at your lowest or even at your highest. So ensure this is a simple exercise that you can do. There are plethora of other exercises that you could build in clarity, but I believe this is one simple thing. If you want another tips, what I would say is like pen. Celebrities have used this technique where you just put in yes, say something like that. Some like yeah, order hairline, and you just tell your speech or anything like that. And even like singers do this gargling technique where you just hum with water inside or water. So all these things are good for bringing in clarity. So if you can just make sure, imagine like yeah, you can have this as a fun segment. Next table topic segment you can, or as a fun segment at your club, you just introduce this thing, give them the water and give them a term. So they have to make sure just gargling that water, they have to ensure that the clarity is brought in, and we should decipher that word. So it would be fun, but at the end of the day, you will ensure how you can bring in clarity. So just giving you some tips. I hope, jokes apart, that was the major intent I want to bring. I hope that's clear. So let's move on. So you are already deciphering and attending the challenges very great. I would love to puzzle you with one more. So there are two questions. So answer is one and the same for both. So tell me what the answer is.
Fire in the belly.
Fire in the belly, eyes in the eyes. So how about the first one?
First one, I don't see a dash.
No, there is an answer for that also. If I eat, I grow.
Oh.
If I drink, I die. What the answer is? Say, this is one aspect I would love to remind you. You need to be really actively listening, not acting listening. The jokes apart, Tangam, you deciphered the answer really correct, but you missed one point. You directly went into the question, right? But I just mentioned one aspect that both of these have one answer. So when I asked you what is the answer for the first one, it is again fire. But you missed to answer because you were completely thinking going to the screen. That's what happens many times with our table topics and many aspects where we are not actively listening because we are in our thoughts. But thank you so much, Tangam, for deciding it right. And why I wanted to bring it is because every time we go into stage, we need to have that fire to challenge us, not to prove us, but to express us fully. And everything I believe in our speech is energy. And energy is carried through how you speak and how we can amplify it. And each and every word we speak, each and everything that we say, we do is part of energy. And as Einstein rightly mentioned, it can neither be created nor be destroyed. It can transferred from us to audience. And that's what we are doing at speeches. So just make sure you have that fire within you so that you can just emulate it to others or transfer to others. With that, I have got another beautiful challenge for all of you. So who wants to go first? Okay, that's not this time. Good. So Rajana, in screen, you will see one beautiful emotion or emoticon coming up. So, okay, let me just share the screen first. So what is that you see now?
Anger.
Anger. Good. So you have found out the right emotion. Now what you have to do is, you remember the song Johnny Johnny? Good. But you have to recite to me in anger.
Okay, I'm getting a smile before I do that.
That's a challenge.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'll give it a try. I
Yes.
don't remember the rhymes first of all. Johnny Johnny,
Johnny
yes,
Johnny.
Papa. Eating sugar, no Papa. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny Johnny, yes, Papa. Eating sugar, no Papa. Telling lies, no Papa.
That's all. Open your mouth, you fool.
Oh, right.
That's right. Absolutely. But what was your emotion?
Anger.
How would you express?
Like I was trying to use my hand gestures to,
Oh, and just to show anger. Johnny
yes,
Johnny. Punching Johnny.
yeah, that
I
way.
really loved that way of emulating anger. Thank you, Rachana. As the first time. Okay, I say Ram. So Ram, are you ready for the challenge? As you haven't attempted other challenges, maybe Ram will give Ram a chance now. He'll feel otherwise awkward. Ram, are you
Yeah,
ready?
sure. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so Ram, what emotion that you see in the screen? If you don't know, I will give you that it is, what is that? Sorry?
Yeah. Fear.
Yeah.
Fear,
Fear,
scared.
right? Yes, exactly. So you have to recite the same journey with fear.
Johnny, Johnny, yes, Papa. Eating sugar, no, Papa. Open your mouth. Ha, ha, ha.
That horror effect of Ha was very good. I really loved that. But like, yeah. So now last challenge. Anyway, like, yeah, we will not take much time. So who want to go the last one? Pradeep or Tangam? Anybody? Okay, Pradeep, sir. Okay, so you can go with. He is, by the way, Dr. Madan Kataria, who is the founder of Laughter Yoga. So the emotion for you is hasya, which is laughter. So you can just laugh out loud and just recite Johnny Johnny.
Johnny, Johnny. Yes, Papa. Telling lies? Yes, Papa. Open your mouth? Yes, Papa. That's it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this was completely fun, right? We did attempt at the same simple thing that we knew from age all years. But when we express, you see, like, yeah, each and everyone, when we tried, it was completely different. Rachana, when we tried like the anger, she was trying to build in. Now she is angry with me. No, just joking. Like, yeah, but at that point of time, rather than anger, she was more happy. She was feeling like, yeah, oh, this is so cool. How can I just express anger? Right? That was your feeling. And like, yeah, Ram was nevertheless afraid of things. That's what he was explaining. He was really enjoying. Yeah, Johnny, come on, Johnny, let's go ahead. That was his mood. And Pradeep really was into it. And that's why, like, yeah, when we go into it, what happens is we forget the lines. He was really into the journey and he was into the laughter. After Johnny, he forgot, what, where it gone? So I just want to give you that even simple experiments, right? This is how, like, even a simple statement we can emote in different ways. And that's how, in our Indian mythology itself, we have given this Navarasa to all of us. That is it. Nothing less, nothing more. If we learn the Navarasa, even with Johnny or any simple statement, practice it with each Hasya, Ingara, Karuna, all those rasas, we will be acing our real content speech at any level. Because our content speech has got all those things with that emotion added. But this plain statements, if you try to add emotions and articulate, then we will be at the middle. So next time, that's how like you get the control also. Now you see, like, yeah, when you are trying to emulate that emotion to that statement, sometimes you are not able to express, sometimes you are able to express, but you lost the control. So these two aspects, if we need to build it, this is how we can. And there are, like, yeah, all these navrasas I just want, because I just kept it for many others also to do. This was a simple exercise, but the real intent, if you can just, so I'll just give you some quiz questions. So Veera or Karana, so any recent news that you heard which gave you that Veera or Karuna emotion, anything from news, recent news that you can think about, the courage which is called the Veera, or compassion of Karuna. I will give you a great, because that really gave me goosebumps to hear, like, a 10-year-old Ellen. The girl just passed away, the 10-year-old baby, after an accident. But the real compassion news came because after that incident, their parents chose to make sure the 4 of the organs of that baby is given to other patients. And literally now she is the youngest organ donor in Kerala, which happened only in February. And that gave me the real news of compassion and courage. And that's why I just wanted to give you that each and every time we come across news, we get different kind of emotions. So let's give you another thing. Disgusting news. Any disgusting news that you heard recently that you can think about. No worries, I will give you some which is right now happening viral. especially if you compare Kerala. There is a movie that's going to release, Kerala Story. Beyond Kerala is the name, and there is going a lot of rivalry against the movie that's not happening in Kerala. Kerala, we have all these like religious harmony and all. And why is it happening? Just because people want to make sure with this influence, the movie is a hit. The trailer is already watched by millions of people just because of this rage bait. And that was the word of the year by Oxford last year, 2025. Rage bait is something which we are purposefully creating social media hatred with that content. And that's what media is doing right away with our minds. So, disgusting news, I would say, is this one. And surprising news for anyone. You heard any surprising news? To me, it was surprising and shocking when Australia was kicked out of World Cup 2020. Australia not in Super 8, I was really shocked. Last but not least, I would say like any news that gave you that feeling of shanta or peace. I was really surprised. I would say like I got really peace when I saw a Instagram reel by a father, when he was asked to the media of his son attempting JEE, and he was saying like, yeah, let him enjoy and study and just do prepare for the exam. If he doesn't pass, that's absolutely fine. We'll have business and I'll enroll him to business and we'll have a steady life. Let him do whatever he wants. That was at the JEE exam that he was telling. So that cool father, that cool parent, if we can be, that's going to be a great. So I just mentioned you all these news just because we are having plethora of news every day before us, coming with a lot of emotions packed. And each news that we see, hear, speak, carry emotions. When we gossip at the office, we carry an emotion. When we see, hear, do, watch, all these are emotions. So just make sure we practice purposefully emotions. Taking an hour or taking a 5 minutes, I would say, taking 5 minutes break and see like, yeah, what is the emotion that was going through as we just go into the feeling wheel. You can just go through and see like how you can practice. So if simple statement, if you practice well, then the profound statements in your speech is going to be just easy like this. I hope clear so far. Any questions? Great. Yes, I don't want to elongate further with like other aspects because obviously all these emotions can be bundled through the vocal variety, the power of pose, the power gestures, eye contact, expression, etc. That's all there because I know like the power series will carry through all these different aspects in detail because that is what I needed rather than just touching base. But I just want to give you the hint that emotion is not just a standalone thing. It's the entirety in itself. Even the words we craft carry an emotion. The same word can create a rage to the audience, and the same word can create the happiness to the audience. That's how we understand how we know the audience. I used the word karma in my speech, and I delivered it in UAE, and they were like, "Karma? He coming here and saying karma?" But the same thing when I delivered it in North India, they were like, "Yeah, karma! I know karma." So it's about understanding the audience. So we need to always make sure each word we use. And the perfect speaker is who understand the audience looking at it. It's not about like, let's say like, completely forget about ISC or anything. You are going to invite as a speaker and you are addressing an audience. And the purpose intent of you as a speaker is to speak to the audience and for the audience, not just speak for yourself. You have got this 20-minute content, I have got 1 hour content. And it's not needed that I need to cover all those 1 hour content. If I see 80% of people are disinterested, and you are going to witness the same. I have gone through umpteen times, and I really learned the hard way that it's your responsibility and you are accountable as a speaker to make sure we speak for the audience. And if they are disinterested, it's time for you to take a pause from what you have prepared and ensure how we can engage better. Maybe just ask a question and divert and make sure they are inclusive before we go ahead. Otherwise, we will be delivering something, we'll be completing the task, but we won't be content with what we delivered, and nothing is going to change. Really, I would say, like, yeah, in online setup like this, when I started giving trainings within our organization, it was really hard to me because I had 2 hours of session and I have got plethora of content to me and I was completely confident with the content. But immediately I started, I felt the energy lost. I was completely shocked on that. Okay, what can I do? There is nothing I can do. Everybody are off camera and nobody is responding. Then I subtly started experimenting, and that's the biggest learning I got. And I started these questions, these all things I just started engaging is through that experience I had when I failed miserably handling 250 audience at my first session. Now I have handled more than, I would say, like 3 years, last 3 years, I have handled more than 10,000 people through multiple sessions, which is only possible through that failure. And I believe that it's only possible if we try to contact it. So, only urge to all of you is make sure you carry that perseverance. And how you can do, remember, like I just mentioned, like earlier, how to build that growth mindset. And that's what we are going to have just for as a last tip. Many of us will go through this ladder. If you see, like the line below is where we are always focusing, which is mentioned. This is called O's principle, OZ principle, by the way. If you would like to learn about it, that's really cool to have. It's about how to build accountability, and I would love to adapt it to any speeches as well, because it's all about, are you mindful about the audience? So that's what we say. Let's maintain eye contact. It's not about speaking up or down. In online setting, you are focusing on camera, which ensures you are looking into the eyes. In the same way, are you owning the stage with the pose, the smile, the charishma, the gestures, the open gestures, rather than you? It's not good. You or we. And are we having all those different kind of, like, yeah, gestures? I would take another session, but just giving you, like, there are multiple gestures way which we feel that we are one among them, rather than we are alienating them. Even the content, if you are telling always you, people are alienated. But the simple shift to we make them influence. So every time on it, the words you use, the clarity which you speak, the postures, smile, etc. And of course, what I would allow you to do is play around. Unless we play around and understand things, it's never going to hit. Because if we are afraid about, oh my god, I'm going to, nobody is laughed. I usually say one of my worst experience was a humorous speech contest where I just had one of my friend mentioned that, okay, I'm going to start this humorous speech contest, but as a backup, what you do is when I raise this finger, you need to laugh. So I just put her as a backup and I just went on. So I went to the stage and I had this first punchline in me, which I was sure that everyone will laugh. And I just delivered that punchline and I saw that no one is laughing. They were looking at me. Yes, go ahead. I was like a balloon which lost all this air. And afterwards, I forgot every other punchline that I had in mind. And it was like a very pathetic speech, I would say. And after what happened, literally, after I went off the stage, she told me one thing: Rajiv, you forgot to even show this finger. Otherwise, I would have laughed at one joke. But literally, that has given me the experience, and now you are laughing with that speech. So, one horrible thing can give you best memories later. So, the intent I want is experiment as much as possible. Don't be afraid of, like, oh my god, what will happen and everything. That will give you profound memories for next. Last but not least, just do it. It's just a matter of being there and giving it. That's all. Just do it, my dears. Because the major thing we all do is the below line, where we just go and say, no, it's not my thing, right? We blame it on others. It's you. It's my manager has done it. She is the person. The division director is responsible, not mine. Pradeep Shetty will say, like, yeah, district director is responsible, not me. No, it's like a easy, right, to blame on others. Ignore things. We say, like, yeah. In this world, we are completely ignoring. We will be listening to others and we'll be speaking on phone or looking into the chat. Even the simple, our day-to-day emotions are at really scale where, like, yeah, people are not literally attending and making eye contact. So these are the easy things: blaming on others, having coalition, and mentioning, like, yeah, it's your job not to do. I'm confused and I will wait and see. I will, like, yeah, ISC, I'm not prepared now. I'll wait for 2 years and I will do it. I'm not ready to do this now. This role I will take after 5 years, after I become so much. Nothing is going to happen. After 5 years, we'll have come with another excuse. That's going to happen. So let's focus on the above line, which is the OS principle I would love to have. And before winding up our session, I just want you all to read through this, because I believe in this as always, as it's all our thoughts that gets transformed to the words, and that words is what coming through as actions. Because when we believe in those words, I am happy, you will be definitely expressing yourself as a free flow. And definitely each and every action we do after waking up early morning, the first thing we do, it becomes a habit. And if we are watching our habits regularly, you can see how to mold your character, and that's your destiny. So, my dear speakers and leaders, create not just a word or an action, create a destiny for your own, making sure you have a character built through habits. Because I believe truly that we all are people of habits. I hope this was as good as Rachana mentioned in the beginning, all the hype, but over to you for any questions that you have.
May I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Uh, so, when I write my speech for the very first time, writing the draft, and then probably maybe tuning into uh, at least a good speech. So then you practice for the very first time. Uh, I can feel like it is literally true. It is coming from my heart. That emotion is there. But as you practice more and more, I feel like, I mean, I already know the content, but that emotion is slightly going down.
It happens.
How do you tackle that?
It happens to even experienced speakers where like, yeah, you have been literally going through this practice for 50 times. Now it is like, even if you are woken up at a sudden, you will start saying, yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, this is my speech, and you know everything, right? I understand this pain where yeah, you have literally gone through the speech umpteen times with practice, and now you don't laugh at that speech. But think that's where I would love you to again consider, you are not speaking for yourself, you are speaking for the audience. The audience is listening you for the first time. They are looking at you for that first content, and we are here there to entertain the audience. So that's why we need to manifest each time we are telling this is a new set of people. Understand the set of people we are going to address. I will curate my speech, especially like, yeah, each time when I went to club level to area to division, what I did was each time it was the same speech, but I made sure each time the refined content was there. There was refinement in the humor that I added, or any said, like I usually go with few principles where I minimal have two emotions come in place. That is one minimal thing I will carry, because I want to make sure each audience have an elevation from one emotion to another. Otherwise, what will happen is they will stay on that one emotion, and at times they won't understand there was an elevation happen. That's why I would love to transition from one emotion to another. That's a bare minimum. It could be three, as we said, like yeah, we can go from anger to happiness, then to joy or pride. So all these things can happen. Sometimes my favorite one is sadness to happiness, which is the bare minimum I will go. I will make them really sad, pathetic, and then end up with a boost moment. Right? Yeah, we have won. So all these can happen, but literally, yeah, you will experience this for many times where you believe that okay, no, this is I'm lacking the emotion. You are not lacking the emotion. It's in your mind. That's why we need to always train our mind, because it's our mind that always confuses. So it's train our mind that yeah, you are going to have a different audience. Manifest it to that audience. Next time you practice, imagine who are the new audience coming, and see like yeah, what you can bring to them. And it's all about like, and what good thing happens, I would say, like yeah, it is in our belief that first time you had the emotion, it was perfect. But what happened literally is, because I expressed it in the first time, it was fully emotional, but it was not having the clarity, it was not having the control in emotion. But whenever you practice, you refine, there will be control in emotion, rather than just literally crying and waiting for the next line. You'll be just pausing and then move on with that pause, which will carry that emotion in the best form possible. Because Toastmaster is not a flavor where we are going to enact everything. It's not a mime show. We need to enact expressions, but not sure it is a mime show where we are going overacting in it. We can show that like just set of tear for 1 minute. But next moment, next statement we say, if we are just going to have that elevation, we need to be calm and composed. Otherwise, if we carry that same tone of sadness, that will not. Your practice is worth, don't be helped.
Okay, next question.
Next question.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright. I have experienced this in my last speech.
Mhm.
I had all the keywords with me. So when I practiced, it was kind of within the time. But when I was delivering it in the club, I was literally speaking from my heart. I tried to put more kind of emotional aspect. But then from the feedback, what I got was the audience felt like I took more pauses and it was slightly elongated. So then I felt confused.
I can understand your feeling. So I always say there are three speeches. One is what we written and practiced. The second is what we imagine is our level of speech would be. And the third one, the reality, what we delivered on stage. And if you compare these three, there is going to be a significant difference every time, each and every time. There is not going to be the same version. It could be always different. And why it happens is because of all those different factors. Because the first aspect, right, where we are not prepped, we are just going to unleash it at the stage. Our energy is going to vary. We confused with the audience, and we just feel like, yeah, some, if they are not laughing at our jokes, we feel like our energy is low. Sometimes we feel like, yeah, we are confused even when looking at, say, at times I look at some people who are just nourishing my content. I feel it's elevating. At times I look at some people and I just gave a joke, and when I see Rachana and she's not laughing, I believe, oh my god, my joke is done. So all these can happen. We are all human, right? It's all bound to happen. So nothing wrong in it, but it's always about, like, yeah, making sure we learn from them. If I can just honestly say you that one of the area contests I was appearing few years back, I just literally lost. Everyone said me like, yeah, was a good speech, great speech. We heard, we really enjoyed. And when they announced the results, all were angry at me, just mentioning you just got disqualified based on time, and someone just mentioned 1 second. Can you imagine that pain and wonderful feeling? Because that speech I literally have in my mind, practiced from club to level and everything, but just 1 second costed me. But that has given me more experience. And even you see last year, world champion speaking also, there are world champion speakers at final. Imagine that final, they have lost because of the disqualification. Because that is the stage. And world stage, you reaching there, it brings you all those things, additional emotion. So your prep should be higher than that, so that you feel comfortable and ease at stage. Otherwise, what will happen again? All these emotional drama within ourselves will kick in before we burst out.
Yeah,
Hope I
I
answered.
was over by 20 seconds for
No,
that
man,
speech.
that happens. That happens. See, that's all happens.
Yeah, that clears. Thank you,
Thank
Raju.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Raju, I have a question.
Yes.
You talked about energy. Energy is really important. And most of the time it happens that we have lots of energy. We start with a speech with a lot of energy, and slowly that energy level goes down as time progresses. So what is that secret, one or two recipe which you can give to all of us over here, including me? I too need it. How we can always maintain our energy to the peak if it is
I
required?
would say that's a misconcept where we shouldn't maintain energy to its peak. We should vary that energy from time to time. And that will only happen with the way we speak. Many believe that, because I had this misconception a lot of time, where because I was blessed with a voice where even without a mic, I can be audible to people of 100. And I believed that I speaking loud is the way to be a big speaker.
Mhm.
And someone said, why are you just being noisy? And that day, I understood energy is not speaking loud. Energy is not just varying your tone and just doing mimicking. Energy is about how they are able to relate to your speech. Are they getting that right emotion? And if you are, so for example, let's say you mentioned like, yeah, you started at its peak. If your speech had the content of you are at its highest peak of success, definitely that energy is needed. And if you are just having, let's say, we started our like session with a quiz questions, right? Some of the questions, and that brought in an energy where everyone were And you can just start the speech same way, right? We can ask a question to engage with the audience. That sets energy. It's not about the voice or anything. So whenever you see that energy is low, it's up to our speech content. Definitely, some of the time we need energy to be low. For example, I am going through a terrible situation in my speech. Do you want that everyone to be elevated in that high pack level? Never, right? People, I have seen like, yeah, some of the, whenever people say like, yeah, when some chords are being into picture, they roar it in the highest volume possible, which is not ideal because they won't hear it and you will lose that clarity and credibility.
Right.
It's always better, we said, if we end that sentence in a lower volume so that people get eager to listen. So I would love you to consider each and every statement. What is the energy that you would like to add on? What is the emotion? What is the feeling that you add on? Go to the feeling wheel, classify it, and see whether this is the one that is having. And if you feel this is like not amplifying to the audience, it is not relatable to audience, how can I bring that energy? That's why I said look into the audience. If they are not seeing that, okay, we are not capturing the humor, let's tilt it. Let's make sure we regroom them, asking a question, making them think through another questions or anything like that, engaging them, bring that in.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Rajeev. Thanks for clarifying.
I think I took overshoot some time. Absolutely stand corrected for that, but
no, that's fine because answering the question, that also is important. That's why we are all here to listen to the masters. Anybody else?
I just want to ensure, like, yeah, Rachna doesn't blame me. Like, yeah, you are given the stipulated time of 8 o'clock. Why are you? You mentioned you were only.
we started at 7:10, so 10 minutes late. So that's fine. Right? Yeah, that's okay. Anybody else?
Any other questions? Feel free, but yeah, obviously, yes, Rachna has rightly mentioned. You can always keep in touch with me on LinkedIn or any other.
Raju, I have one question.
Yes, please. Now. Yeah.
So when I go onto the stage, I wanted to start with energy, but when I go there, I'm not able to do that. So it's like,
I'm not
how
sure
can
like
we?
whether you were there when we had that prep mentioned in our session. Did you join the session earlier, Ram? Or?
I think I missed the initial part. Yeah.
Okay, and that's fine. Like, yeah, I'll just give you the recap. What we did mention is like, yeah, it's before we even like, yeah, starting our speech, we need to prep ourselves up. We need to build that charisma, the charisma within ourselves. But I did mention like everyone have got their own ritual. My ritual was drinking, sipping a glass of water and telling myself it's going to be good. Some do stretches and everything. So if you like, yeah, if you are going directly to the stage and you see like, yeah, energy is dropping, it is just because we are not prepping ourselves enough so that we are just having that energy to ourselves to calm down and compose and going down. So like, we have got multiple methods. I'm just giving you some.
Thank you. I will do that.
So one more question. Do we
Yes,
have
please,
time?
Anju. Yes, please.
Yeah, Rajesh. So what I felt like when I attempting a speech or something. So sometimes like I don't know how where to limit our gestures. Like sometimes I'm not good at in the gesture body language part, but when listening some speeches. Sometimes people they are using over like to express their thing like it is too much like it's something as a listener I'm not that much into not like that much, so where to limit those things like
Okay.
that
One
is too
thing I
extreme.
like, yeah, and just to be honest, one thing I felt, yeah, you were pinpointing me and saying like, yeah, you are too much over in expressing, and how to
No,
limit.
not like
No,
no.
jokes apart. No, I honestly believe that I am a person who is fully expressive. If I'm happy, it is literally literally in my eyes, and if I'm feeling sad, people will really understand. And even my manager says like, yeah, you don't really concur with my words, right? So he literally understands that I'm not at all listening to him. But that's good. But just jokes apart, Anju. The thing is about first thing I want to rephrase your question. Don't believe that yeah you don't have the control. I would love you to add it. You don't have done it yet. Yet is a powerful statement. I believe each and every one of us should add in our vocabulary. Each statement that you believe in a negative connotation, I would allow you to understand. You haven't done it yet, but you can. And the next aspect I would love to give you is disturb your mental. that is the person we need the most to get yourself corrected, because it's not a one-way journey. That is why we join Toastmasters. And the best benefit we can get only through Toastmasters is through Connect. And make sure our mentor is going through our journey, understanding where we stand and how we can elevate. And it's not single alone possible, Anju. If you are just trying to see, like, okay, it is really hard for me now, unless you go ahead and connect with your mentor and mentor also supports you, it's not going to possible. And it could be multiple mentors if you wish, like, yeah, so right now you have got many people right now in this division A, so you can have a mentor at division A, division X, nothing like that which is stopping you. But make sure we connect and grow only with our mentor, because they only can support us, because we can see in our mirror and see that my expression is not good, but the right feedback we are lacking. So unless we learn rightly, it's not going to be a right learn. So that's the only thing I would say. So Anju, get started, and use have not started yet, but you can do it. And make sure your mentor is always disturbed. I would say the word disturb, because that is going to make it sure.
Thank you, Raj.
Thank you.
Rachna, you can take over.
Sure. Thank you, DTM Rajeev, for such a fun, engaging session. We had challenges like tongue twisters and enacting the emotions. We had techniques to identify our emotions, the emotion tree, the scaling methodology, the tips to improve our stage presence, like adding charisma, or the exercises and body language. And the most important thing is to have the fire within us before going on stage and to transfer that energy to the audience, and also to understand the audience. And all these tips that you were giving, like, we were actually emotional. We were involved in each and every emotion that you explained. And thank you for such a beautiful session. And we would like to have you in our upcoming sessions also. Like, yeah, thank you for that. And thank you each and everyone for your time, energy, and patience and wonderful questions. And I hope this session was useful to you, and we'll have the recording. Please follow our channel, YouTube channel, and the social media handles, and you'll get the updates. So, with this, I would like to hand over the virtual stage to our division director, Pradeep Shetty.
Yeah, thank you, Rachna, for the wonderful being a moderator. I really thankful to you, and special thank to Srinivas, Rajeev Srinivas, distinguished Toastmaster, who helped us with this beautiful session. It's the first time I'm hearing this, the feelings wheel, right? Feelingswheel.com. I request each one of you, maybe who have just tuned in right now or watching this recording at any point of time, please go to www.feelingswheel.com. Just see the emotions, what you have. I think we always say we are happy or sad or feeling bad, but if you get into the depth of it, it's amazing. I think it has more 6 or 8 more meanings saying, hey, I'm happy today, something like that. I got to know. The second learning which I had is about the tongue twisters, right? Like red lorry, yellow lorry, red lorry, yellow lorry, or something. In Hindi, they say kacha papad, pakka papad, kacha papad, pakka papad. A few various things. You took us through that beautiful journey, and it was nothing theoretical. I think right from the beginning, I found this session as practical, and I think this is what is required in today's scenario, rather than just showing us the PPT and just speaking out. And today you took us through that journey, made us do that, and you said it is a challenge. So that was really nice. All of us really engaged. And then you talked about the energy. I had a doubt about this energy, like, okay, throughout the speech, if you have to be energetic, that is fine, but maybe some point of time, but it's not shouting or yelling. I learned that from you. That's nice. And the best thing is, which we normally say, I, or you, convert it into we are here, we are doing this, right? It was really amazing. Thank you so much for having this beautiful evening with us today. And I would also like to give a small token of appreciation of this certificate, which Rachna herself has created this. So thank you, Rachna, as a token of appreciation. Thank you. And I would also like to thank Rachna, who without her, this would have not been possible. So a small token of appreciation to Rachna. I would like to share this certificate. Yes, I think you can see it. Thank you, Rachna. Without you, I think it would have not been possible. Me being alone, it would not be possible. So thank you so much, Rachna, for this great evening and for arranging all these things, including the Zoom meeting and all these things. Thank you so much. And apart from that, I would like to thank each one of the audience joining in from Karnataka, maybe Mysore, Kerala, and different parts of the world. We are super thankful to you. And me as a Division A Director, District 121, I would like to all of you to welcome to Bengaluru on 19th of April. 19th of April, which is a Sunday. We have our division contest, the division meet, which is happening here in Bangalore. So in another 2-3 days, we'll know about the venue, where it is. So we'll go ahead and publish it to all of you. See that it's a beautiful time to come to Bangalore. If you've never been to Bangalore, I think you should come to see Nama Bengaluru. It's beautiful. It's super nice. And the weather is absolutely great. Okay. So it's super nice. It's not too hot like Kerala or my native Udupi, where in the coastal areas you sweat a lot, but here in Bengaluru, at least during the evening time, it's superb. So thank you, each one of you, and special thanks to Rajeev Srinivas for being with us and taking us through this beautiful, emotional journey. We just loved it. And I would request each one of you to join us next Saturday. Again, we'll have a new guest, a seasoned Toastmaster, who will take us to another different type of journey. And let us continue this Power Talk series, which is initiated by the PRs of Division A, that is Toastmaster Rachna and Toastmaster Shreyas, who are here. This is not my initiative as a division director. It's from the PR team who is taking this initiative and doing it. They just said, Rachna said, sir, Pradeep, you just come and just be there. That's fine. And we will run the entire show. That's what she means to say. We'll take the responsibility. So it's super thankful to each one of you, and have a great evening and a happy weekend wherever you are in whichever part of the corner of the world. So thank you very much. Stay tuned, and we'll meet next week, same time, that is 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time on Saturday. Thank you and have a great evening.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much,
Any
Pradeep.
last
Wishing you all the best for much more division initiatives. And same with Rachna. May you always shine and bring such energy to each and everyone. And thank you, Tangam, for being on camera and helping with all those wonderful questions and insights. And hoping to come to Trivandrum also, Tangam, some point of time for some of the sessions, if possible, from your end. This would love to see and each and everyone. Thank you, everyone. And wishing you all the best for the Power Talk series. And let's we bring more power to more people, and let's bring all this.
Thank you, Raju.
A
Wonderful.
small request, could you please come on camera? Like we can
Yeah.
take a group picture.
Just give picture before we end up.
Each one of you
Showcase
can
full energy.
camera, maybe just for a minute. Sunil, Ram, Anju. Yeah, just for a minute. Fine. Yeah. Distinguished Toastmaster. Yeah. 2VH. If you can come on camera, sir. Yeah.
Using headphone.
You can put your favorite emoji also. Press my capture.
Yeah, just joking. Like, yeah, this emoji should represent how the session was.
Yes. I'll take one more.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. We'll have the recording.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll publish the recording in another 30 to 35 minutes. So stay tuned for that. Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.